Good morning, students. Today we will continue with our chapter number 1, the leaf. Today we will study about functions of leaves. The first function of leaf is manufacture of food. The green leaves prepare food for the plants in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll by a process called photosynthesis. In this process, the leaves use carbon dioxide and water to prepare the food in the form of starch. Oxygen gas is released in this process. As the green leaves prepare food for the plants, they are also called the food factory of the plants. Next function performed by leaf is transpiration. Excess water absorbed by the roots of plants is released into the air through tiny pores present on the lower surface of the leaves. These tiny pores are called stomata. The process of releasing excess water by the plant is called transpiration. It keeps the plants cool. The third function performed by leaf is gaseous exchange. During the day, for performing photosynthesis, plants take carbon dioxide and release oxygen through the stomata. Plants, like other living organisms, respire continuously day and night. In the process of respiration, they take oxygen and release carbon dioxide through the stomata. During the day, as a result of photosynthesis, the oxygen gas released by the plants is used by other living organisms for their respiration. As a result of respiration, the plants release carbon dioxide, which is poisonous in nature. Therefore, it is not advisable to sleep under the tree at night, because that time only respiration takes place and carbon dioxide is released by the trees. Now we will do an experiment to prove that during the process of photosynthesis, oxygen is evolved in the green plants. For this, the material required are hydrilla twigs, beaker, a glass funnel, a test tube, pond water, and a glowing splinter. We take a beaker and fill 3/4 of it with the pond water. We take some freshly cut hydrilla twigs and insert them in the nozzle from below the stem of a glass funnel. Keep this funnel in an inverted position at the bottom of the beaker. A support arrangement is used in between the base of the funnel and the bottom of the beaker. Now a test tube filled with pond water is inverted over the stem of the funnel. While making this arrangement, we have to see that the level of water in the beaker should be above the level of stem of the inverted funnel. The whole arrangement is kept on a flat surface under bright sunlight for some time. What we observe, the air bubbles start coming out from the cut end of the hydrilla twigs and get collected at the upper end of the test tube. After some time, we find some gas get collected at the top of the inverted test tube by the downward displacement of water. To test the nature of the gas collected, the test tube is removed quickly from the stem of the funnel and the mouth is closed with the thumb. Now a glowing splinter is introduced into the test tube by removing the thumb from the mouth of the test tube. The glowing splinter immediately bursts into a flame, indicating that the gas collected in the test tube is. We will do one more experiment to demonstrate that the process of transpiration takes place through the leaves. For this, the materials required are a potted plant, a polythene bag, and some threads. Besides the primary functions of the leaves, in some plants the leaves are modified to carry out some specific functions. Such modifications are as follows. In many weak stemmed plants, the whole leaf or a part of leaf gets modified into thin, thread-like coil structures called leaf tendril. The tendrils provide suitable support in climbing of the weak plants. They stretch out and coil around any suitable support to help the plant in climbing. For example, the upper leaflets of the sweet pea are modified into tendrils. In wild pea, the entire leaf is modified into a tendril. In sweet pea, only upper leaflets are modified into tendrils. In Narawelia, the terminal leaflets are modified into leaflets. In glory lily, the leaf tips are modified into tendrils. In clematis, the petiole of leaf gets modified into tendril. Leaves of certain plants get modified to provide protection and to reduce water loss. For example, in cactus plant, leaves are modified into spines and reduce the loss of water by transpiration, because the cactus plant is grown in desert areas where there is scarcity of water. The leaf spines also protect the plants from the grazing animals like goat and sheep. Cactus plants do not have broad green leaves. In these plants, their thick green stems perform the process of photosynthesis and make fruit. Next modification is the scale leaves. Scale leaves are thin and dry structures which are usually brownish in color or colorless. They take up the function of protecting the axillary buds as in ginger. In onion, they store food prepared by the plant and become thick and fleshy. Leaves arrange themselves on the branches in such a manner that they get maximum exposure to sunlight. They may be found arranged in the following three different ways: alternate, opposite, and whorled. In group, the leaves are found. The term used for the arrangement of leaves on the branches is called phyllotaxy. Insectivorous plants such as pitcher plant, Venus flytrap, and bladderwort are adapted to grow in soil which does not have enough minerals, especially nitrogen. These plants feed on insects to obtain minerals. For this, they are modified to trap the insects. They have chlorophyll in their leaves that help them in making of food. Examples of some modified plants are as follows. Pitcher plant. In a pitcher plant, the lamina of the leaf is modified into a trapping device called pitcher. The leaf apex forms the lid of the pitcher and petiole coils like a tendril. As soon as the insect enters the pitcher, the lid closes. An insect gets trapped and digested by the juice secreted at the bottom of the pitcher. Venus flytrap. The edges of leaves have long pointed hairs. The lamina of the leaf is divided into two parts, having a midrib in between like a hinge. When an insect visits the plant, the leaf suddenly closes and the insect gets trapped and digested by the juice secreted by the leaf. The leaves of bladderwort are highly segmented. Some segments form bladder-like structures. When an insect enters through the opening, it gets trapped. The insect cannot come out from the opening and get digested by the juice secreted by the leaves. In some plants, a new plant can be developed from the vegetative parts like root, stem, or leaves. This is known as vegetative propagation. Some plants such as Bryophyllum and Begonia produce adventitious buds on their leaf margins. When the leaf of such plants fall on the moist soil, these buds develop into new plantlets. The leaves of such plants are thick and fleshy, thus they provide enough food and water to the new plantlets.